Most important thing about this project for me is that it makes me ask a billion questions like Robin just started asking. And there is no right answer, no obvious right answer. The question, I'll have my own questions and I'll have my own answers. And my answer might be utterly silly or stupid, or it might be a work of genius, but it'll be done out of the spirit of philanthropy, whatever the hell that is. And I'm going to have to figure out what the hell philanthropy is in the course of doing this. And my answer might be different than it was a year ago or a year from now.
Rattling the framework.
Yes.
Which I think the framework needs to be rattled. And especially mine, because I remember when it dawned on me that the answer to the question, how many children do you have, and I'm old enough to have, and I have grandchildren, how many children do you have is, I don't know, how many are there? And that's the position I've taken, is that they're all mine. And I have a responsibility to all of them. And each person in the world, no matter how old, it's somebody's child. And this is a very sacred thing to make sure that I'm vested in the well-being of each person's child, which everybody is. So this is just another rattling. Now, we could give away scarves. The problem with scarves is not everybody wants one. We may not have all the right colors. The cool thing about $1 is its versatility. And so if we're going to make this statement, we need an excuse, this vehicle to make this statement. We can turn the whole notion, even the load that is associated with money, on its end. I think it'll really be fun and incredible.
I think about this recently because I had an experience, I don't know, like 6 months ago or something, and I found $3 on the ground just randomly on campus, and so I was like, okay, I don't really need this, and so I was like, I took one of them, and then I was like, hey, you have $2, and nobody would take it. They were just like, why are you giving me $2? I was like, well, I found it, I don't really need it. They're like, I don't need it either, take it back. And like, I couldn't give it to anybody. So it's so weird to try to do that, and people are like, no, that's yours, don't give it to me. And it's interesting. So yeah. I'm really...
I thought, okay, I can give away $100. It'll be hard, but I can do it. But in the New York Times article, it talked about how she's not looking to change the world. She's looking for people to be creative about the spirit of giving. And I was like, oh, geez. that's so important, but it's going to be so challenging. So, because, I mean, it also makes you realize that maybe $1 doesn't go that far as monetary value anymore. But that's what it is for me now too, is how do I be creative about sharing the idea of giving.
And maybe it's not the money. Maybe the money, I mean, if you went to a corporate office where people were making $1 million and were holding $1 in your hand with your intent being to change the community or to have them stop for a second and ask a question to someone else in their office, it's not necessarily the dollar that's going to inspire them to do that, but your attachment to this process that we've been handed and the integrity with which you offer that might make the difference, not the actual dollar.
I think part of the conversation will be the temptation to do that too.
Oh, no.
And, you know.
Yeah, I just gave $100 to poor college students.
No, you know what? The first thing I thought about is doing that, because no one's going to do that, right? No one feels like they deserve to take the $100 and go buy themselves something that they wouldn't buy themselves, a massage, bath stuff, a sweater that they want. It seems so kind of like politically incorrect. But the truth is, on a really deep level, that kind of self-care, that kind of ownership that I too can gain a value from giving something to myself, I think is important.
I know, but again, I 100% agree with you. And from the book, that we have here, the Raising Happiness, she says, the first thing you put the gas mask on your face, right, as a parent. I think, again, there will be a lot of struggle around it, right? But whatever the decision is, I think it will be the right decision. The story is really important, and how you come to that, and to tell us that. And that will be, when you are able to say that, if that's what you decided, that will be just beautiful.
Right.
So everything is possible, including that, but I think it's definitely,
When I was producing concerts, my first one, I mostly did all this like by myself, and so I mean, when people would buy tickets and stuff before the show, and I'd have stacks of money just sitting in my room underneath my bed waiting for the concert, and then like, you know, being a teenager is kind of like, oh, there's like well over a couple $1,000s underneath my bed, but it's like when you give it all away, like people would ask me, like this one kid, why don't you just keep that for yourself? But you feel better giving it away than keeping it. I was like, I don't need it. There's people suffering out there. Like you'll feel better than getting a facial or
I don't know.
a massage.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
No, please.
But I think
Maybe not with the whole
capacity,
$100.
the thing is, I think the capacity to have the freedom to do that
Yes, absolutely. Let's leave it open.
is a story in itself. I think
Yeah.
it's a hard story to hold. It would be really difficult,
I would
and
love
maybe
to.
it wouldn't be a facial. Maybe it would be, I don't know, you'd have to find some meaning in it, or I would have to find some meaning in it. But the permission to be able to do that,
It's very
to me, the fact that there isn't permission, there's something about that that drives me. That feels like, well, why is it only worthy to help those who, you know, who are sick or impoverished or abused or starving or hurt in some way? What, I don't know.
But
There's just
this
something
doesn't
that twists
actually
me
say
up
that.
about
This doesn't say that. The
No,
only
it
instruction,
doesn't.
yeah, the only instruction
but
is,
the assumption is,
But that's your
aha,
One of the lovely things about this is it induces thoughtfulness.
right.
It is the, as Eric Fromm talks about, the terror of freedom. That you actually, the decision is yours. Darn. No instruction book. I mean, I think these instructions are deliberately
Difficult.
vague. Well, not really vague. They're precise, but they're not all-encompassing. And now you're stuck with you. Darn. It's
Yep.
going to be hard.
Well, I really like what Yaffa said a minute ago,
Yeah.
that there is no wrong answer.
That's right.
Everything
Right.
that any one of us is going to do with this is going to be
It's
the
about
correct
the process,
decision.
right?
It's all
There is
about
no
the story.
judgment at
Yeah,
all,
and your
actually.
points are really good. They're really good.
I
The-
love the stories that will come out of it, and in fact, I love this. As you said, already things have started. It's great. You
Right.
know? I was wondering what we'll do. I mean, because I was also anxious, like saying, "But where is the instruction book?" You know, kind of like, and it's amazing. Seriously, remember I
Yeah,
asked
I
her,
remember.
I said, "But what do you mean no instructions?" And then just to see the richness of this conversation just makes it just sound. It's so much more sound, you know.
And
in
you
my
can go to
mind.
people and say, look, I got this assignment. I'm an agent for the CIA, Compassion in Action. And I got an assignment that has totally messed me up. Will you help me? Please take one. I've just got 99 left to go. Please.
My wife asked me, what is this thing, really? And I said, well, I'm not sure
It's a
because
secret. You can't
Right.
well, nobody used these words explaining this to me, but it sounds to me like a pyramid scheme.
It's like Amway.
Yeah.
reverse Amway, right.
So,
Not selling,
I
but,
mean, it's,
but
you know,
giving.
what if it were a pyramid scheme? You know, what if it were like, well, okay, so there's 10 people, and then each of us the month after did, you know, had our own party, and then they each had a party. How many conscious creative philanthropists could there be in the city of Seattle within 1 year if you multiplied the number of intentional, secret, creative philanthropists by a factor of 10 each
It's
month?
going in a million different ways, and what can I do, and who can I reach, and how can I do this? And for me, like, showing up here today and just meeting all of you and sort of being in this process and creating this piece of work together is so much more of my focus and so much more important to that. I am so excited to see how each and every one of us take this same assignment and put it out into the world, whatever that looks like. I think just coming together, setting this intention around something so beautiful and so human is exactly the seed for that. I mean, to me, I'm so satisfied and grateful with this experience right now, let alone, you know, what we're going to see on the 23rd when we come back together. So I think already it's starting. We're creating this. We're in this room, in this space together, and this is just going to trickle out. We're going to maybe talk to other people about it or talk to our families or our loved ones, and then they're going to think about it, and then they might talk to someone else, and they're going to think about it, and so everyone's minds are going to start going in that direction of giving